Newly found fossils suggest moths and butterflies have been on Earth for at least 200 million years, at least 70 million years longer than previously thought. Scales from the wings of at least 7 species of Lepidoptera, the group that includes moths and butterflies, were found in a sample of ancient rock in Germany. As well as pushing back the date for the emergence of Lepidoptera, the discovery proves that butterflies did not evolve alongside flowers as previously thought. Scientists hope the discovery could help them understand the early evolution of moths and butterflies and aid researchers with their conservation. A team of researchers, led by Dr. Timo van Eldijk from the University of Utrecht, looked at the wings of 70 different butterfly and moth fossils. The tiny fossils weighed no more than 0.35 ounces, 10 grams, and were about the same size as a speck of dust. The ancient remnants were found in the rocks of northern Germany, and researchers analyzed and compared the fossilized wing scales to those of existing species. The research team used acid to dissolve the rock and leave only the remains of the wings. They were surprised to find the fossils were closely related to moths and butterflies that belong to a group still alive today. These creatures have long tongues, known as a proboscis, that they use for sucking up nectar. But the first flowers are believed to have sprouted on Earth 140 million years ago, long after the date these fossils appears. Dr. Russell Garwood of the University of Manchester, who is not connected with the study, told the BBC, "This new evidence suggests that perhaps the coiled mouthparts had another role before flowering plants evolved." One theory is that these small flying insects fed on gymnosperms.Gymnosperms are flowerless, seed-producing plants such as conifers, which dominated the Jurassic landscape and produced tiny drops of high-energy liquid. Another is that the early Jurassic and late Triassic era was a very dry and arid time, and the proboscis of the butterflies was an efficient technique to replenish lost moisture and survive desiccation stress, the researchers said in the study. It looks like a magnolia and would not be out of place in any front garden.But this flower is the mother and father of every flowering plant living today and was gazed upon by the dinosaurs 140 million years ago. No fossils this old have ever been found, so scientists recreated it by analyzing every plant family on Earth over 6 years. We now know the flowers in our gardens come from this one bloom, with 3 separate whorls of layered petals and both male and female reproductive organs. Its petals lie open because its main pollinator was probably a beetle, with bees only just evolving at that time and yet to require tubular flowers like snapdragons. It looks like a magnolia and would not be out of place in any front garden.But this flower is the mother and father of every flowering plant living today, and was gazed upon by the dinosaurs 140 million years ago. Flowering plants appeared on our planet relatively recently, brightening up a drab landscape previously dominated by ferns, horsetails and mosses. They now represent 90% of all land plants, and scientists claim this is the most accurate picture of their common ancestor produced yet. Dr. Emily Bales, who worked on the study, said, "This is the best representation so far of the flower which is parent to every modern flower we see today and would have existed while the dinosaurs were still on the planet, which is really exciting." It has 3 concentric circles of petal-like organs, unlike the majority of plants today. We don't know for sure what color this flower would have been, but I think it is quite pretty. The origin of early flowering plants, called angiosperms, remains one of the biggest puzzles in biology, almost 140 years after Charles Darwin called their rapid rise in the Cretaceous period an abominable mystery. The picture published in journal Nature Communications looks unlike anything we have today, or any of the ideas previously proposed. It has 3 whorls, or concentric circles of petals, rather like the magnolia it resembles, which makes it unusual among modern-day plants. Only around 20% now match this, with plants typically having fewer layers, such as the 2 whorls seen in lilies.